So although we see technology change a lot, human nature doesn't. And what I realized, as people, if we were watching this election before it happened, everybody was trying to figure out what really were the factors. Was it men and women, or people that went to college and people that didn't? Where was everybody going to fall? And when it was all over, I was studying the maps, and I was studying the county maps, and I realized that it was really something that's been around for a really, really long time, and it's kind of urban versus urban and rural, and how different they are. And I'm kind of a city girl in the way that I was brought up, but I've always really loved the rural area. And where I got most fond of it was network marketing. And what's happened in the last 10 years for network marketing that has been so wonderful in a lot of ways is all this technology. Like the technology that right now is bringing us together. And isn't that wonderful what technology's made happen? And also the ability, with all of the world getting smaller, all this global expansion that network marketing companies have been able to do. And that's wonderful too, because it's wonderful that we have this ability to have home-based opportunity and this love of good health and people taking care of their families and looking for opportunities on their own. Because I think that in many ways, this profession has the ability to unite the world in ways that our politicians and our governments and perhaps big business never will. I hope that it will, but having traveled the world with network marketing, I think that people are more alike everywhere you go than you could possibly imagine, with the same desires, hopes, and dreams for their family. But as it gets more businessified and everything else is where a lot of the differences lie. But what I also noticed is that network marketing, because of that, has changed in a lot of ways. It's grown, but it's lost some things too. And people always talk about, the cultures are different, or it's so fast now, or people can't learn it, or people seem confused because there's such an inundation of information. There's so much information. There's, what should I do? And why was it so much, the way you talk about it, it was so much easier back then. And it was, and here's why. When I got started, network marketing didn't do all that great in the cities. I mean, there were meetings in the cities, but I remember you'd go to New York and you'd have to kill yourself to put 30 people in a room. But I could go to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and there'd be 300. Because network marketing thrived in small towns and in communities because it was about building in your networks. It was about marketing to your network. And there was a strong trust factor there because people were actually talking to their friends, people they grew up with, people that they knew, people that they saw on a daily basis. And people people that you knew and saw on a daily basis were more inclined to be able, to listen to you. And I think that that's a lot of one of the reasons that doTERRA has grown so strong, because I've watched a lot of what you do online, and you have maintained, a dedication to the product and to having people really be familiar with the product and it's very story oriented. When I came on, you were talking about things that, how you use the various products and things they do to benefit your lives and how you share that with other people. And this is not as common in network marketing as it used to be because of its vast attention it's gotten, and because of its ability to go around the world, and because it's gotten so much attention. Because what technology does is it allows you to get a message out or to connect with a lot of people much faster. Well, if you think about it, in a small town or in a small community, or when everybody's kind of in the same places, you can get in front of a network sometimes much quicker than in a big city. Because there's not that many local, there's 27 high schools instead of 2, and there's 36 different ballparks instead of a couple. And it doesn't bring all the same people out, so there's not as much inter-networking going on as life gets faster. So everybody got all focused on all these how-tos. Well, what do I say and how do I say it? Well, nobody ever had to teach you how to talk to your mother. And nobody ever had to teach you how to go talk to people you know in your whole life. And nobody ever had to teach you how to create a comfortable conversation with your friend or a friend of a friend, or how to recommend one friend to another, to another, to another. And if you think about what you know about technology and the way that you've used it to be so successful here, and you think about the fact that you've actually got a makes sense product line. And I don't really want to make it sound like everybody doesn't have a product line that makes sense, but some of them are so highly scientific and require so much explanation, and that's not for everybody. And I got to tell you, I'm one of those people. I want to know that they work, and I want to know there's good science behind them, but I'd much rather have 2 or 3 people that I trust share their story with me and go see if it works for me than sit down and have a scientist explain it to me. I don't know about every, I mean, and I'm not criticizing that. I have a lot of friends that are doctors and scientists, and for them, it's fascinating and second nature. And for me, it's just confusing, and I'd rather go sleep or cook or experiment and have fun. So as I was watching this, I thought, life is like a pendulum. It's over here, and everybody's, networking. When I got started, it was everybody was in their local market, and boy, if you went to the city over, you were really expanding because you didn't need to. And then it was building in the nationwide, and then it was everybody wanted to go global. And today I meet people that have not talked to 12 people that they know at home, and they want to go to East Outer Mongolia, where they speak a different language, and where it's expensive and you don't know how to communicate with everybody. So it seems like it goes from this end to that. And once upon a time, people would go out and just talk to people they knew and share the story of what happened to them and why they liked to be interested in other people and know about other people, which is one of the reasons that network marketing was so effective, because you knew about the person you were talking to. So you were there to solve their problem, not to so-called pitch them. But it went from that, and then it became over to this, well, what do I say and how do I say it? And let me become, all great at this. And somewhere in the middle is the happy medium between the two. It's utilizing this ability to connect and communicate and congregate with people both live and in settings like this that can bring us all together, be interested in them and help them expand their horizons to see a bigger picture than maybe they saw before you got there, but not one so big that it intimidates people that they don't want to do anything at all. And I think that for the people that figure that out, that the next iteration of network marketing is going to be like nothing we've ever seen. When you think about the companies that started it all, really started it all, the ones and that would have to be, to do that, we'd have to go back to like Melaleuca, Amway, and New Skid. I would say those are the oldest of the big companies, and they're kind of dinosaurish today, but they are the big ones. Think about where they started. Ada, Michigan, Provo, Utah, and some town I can never pronounce in Idaho. And they are billion-dollar companies today. Excuse me, if I don't let this cat go in the attic, he's going to continue to sing the, whose house do you think this is anyway? And I let you stay here and you're not listening to me song.
Oh, I have to tell you, that is so funny because I thought it was my cat.
No, my cats, I don't know that I believe in reincarnation, but if I did, I would want to come back as one of my cats. Because they definitively believe that they allow us to live in their house as long as we take care of them in the style to which they've grown accustomed. To them, we are renters. That if we're very, very good, they will not raise our rent or evict us.
Sounds like my dogs.
No, to a dog, you're a homeowner. Dogs are nicer than cats. My cats are wonderful, but by and large, dogs have the attitude when you come home. I want to grow up to be the person my dog, may she rest in peace, used to think I was. You ever see the dog when you come home? They're so excited. You're like, boy, you want to be that person. When you come home, the cat looks at you like, did you bring me anything?
Oh, yeah. I know my dogs, I go to the mailbox so excited when I come back. So, yeah, they are different.
So this is what has been on my mind the past couple of weeks is what are people really craving in this high-speed world because of technology and because of things like Facebook, and it gives us the ability to reach so many. So there is such opportunity when it comes to numbers. But on the other hand, I think there is a Fabulous. I believe that. My kids would approve as long as you said nice things about them. So I think there is, I think that there's a longing with people to also get back to some of the simplicity of yesteryear. You know, I see it a lot in cooking. You know, and like in people, it's, you know, we always, we think, we assume that it's all health. You know, everybody wants to go back to fresh food and all these ingredients, and it is good for you. But I think that there's also a thing with people who want to slow down. I know for me, the busier I get, the more that I like to spend time in the kitchen and cooking and creating things from scratch, because it makes me feel less two-dimensional, less like the only speeds we've got are sleep and go, if that makes any sense. And like I said, I think about it a lot with your particular company. I'm a big consumer of the products, and more and so every day, because Hillary has become such, you know, so fascinated with the oils, and they do bring such relief. And I'm watching it, you know, in Hong Kong, because you're expanding so rapidly when I'm over there. And I think that even that is just this desire for people to have somebody, you know, spend time with them. I think they like things where it's not just go read this, watch this, do this, where they can actually connect with people and get ideas. And I would revisit that. I think that the time to really connect with people and ask them questions about what they are looking for, that we have a lot more to offer people than just the freedom that comes with the income that can be associated with network marketing. I think there's more that people are looking for. I think sometimes the discovery of yourself through your connection to other people and the ability to think you can make a little bit of extra money, what you realize, the career that can come from it, I don't think that that's necessarily what everybody is looking for. I think it's just what a lot of people find. And like I said, I think that it's gotten so fast and so furious. And I think because with the internet, I can go out and say who wants to make a lot of money or who's looking for a full-time career change. And if I phrase that question properly, I can get enough people that will answer me that I can be busy talking to just them. But behind them are a ton of people who may be looking for something a little bit different. But that creates the fabric, that creates a substantial business that gives everybody an opportunity to get whatever it is they want. And I think it's important to focus on the fact that not everybody wants the same things. And that when we go too far one way or the other way, we tend to end up with a somewhat limited, narrow constituency, which can be fun for a while, but never grows into anything remarkable, no matter which side of the fence it falls on. Which is one of the reasons I come home so much. I mean, I come home to be with my family, but one of the reasons I do things like this and I come back to business here is because it's only wonderful when you're dealing with it from all spectrums. It keeps you even keeled and it keeps your business fresh and exciting. I learn things over there to bring back, but I learn things here to take over there. And I learn about myself by not being around people that only think like me all the time. So I don't know if any of this helps anybody, but I decided that since it was Thanksgiving and since I'm so thankful, I'd give you something to think about, and then maybe we like take your questions, or you'd have questions for me, or see what everybody else wants to talk about, and just like get ready for this most fabulous, wonderful time of my year. Oh, your year too, but I kind of think Thanksgiving's mine. So I will share it with all of you because that's the kind of girl I am. I'm so excited I can't even tell you. I just love Thanksgiving.
Well, I tell you, I've been home in chronic pain. And so I haven't been able to do a lot of the business like I want to. I have been trying to do things on Facebook and advertising the BOGOs and things like that, but I'm good on one-on-one, but I'm not good with talking in front of a group of people that I don't know. So I'm just wondering if I'll ever get past that, how you got past that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny. My daughter just spoke for the first time this past weekend, and I'll tell you the same thing that I told her. First of all, when I speak to people, I'm always speaking to one person. And that's if there's one person, 5 or 500 in the room. And the reason is it's impossible to speak to a group. If you're given a topic like how do you make a 3-way call, I suppose you could speak to a group because that's how to make a 3-way call. That's like teaching somebody how to make applesauce. Well, how you make applesauce is how you make applesauce. If you're really speaking from your heart, the intention is to speak to reach somebody, to connect with somebody. There's no way to connect with everybody. And what's interesting is even when you do, you'll have a bunch of people come up to you and they'll say, oh my God, I felt like you were speaking to me. And you'll say, really, what touched you? And this person will say, oh, it's when you said this. And this person will say, oh, it's when you said that. And somebody else will say, oh, when you told this. And so you never know what's going to reach each individual person. But what really connects with people is when you are willing to be vulnerable. So really, if you're uncomfortable, you're more effective. And I will tell you that I never feel good. Good, that's the wrong word. I never feel not frightened or not concerned or not a little bit scared when I go on stage to give a talk. If somebody asks me to go up and speak on how to make a three-way call, I'm good. I've done it 85 times. I can close my eyes and probably repeat it in my sleep. You can video me and it's like, is it live or is it, is it Lisa on tape or is it Lisa? Because it's just not going to change. Mm-hmm. But you don't ever really want to not feel that trepidation, because what you're there to do is to inspire other people. And nobody's ever going to be inspired if you just walk out there and phone it in. Because if it's so easy for you, how does that inspire anybody else to go do it? And it's never easy because people's time is valuable. They've given up their time and they're being open to what you're saying. And what you're looking for is relatability. So let's assume everybody in the audience has some concern, some fear, some this, some that. Well, what you're looking for them to say is, wow, she's like me, or I understand, I felt that way too. Or if she can do that, I can do this too. Well, if you're sitting in a chair and you're wanting to take a step in your life that you've not taken, somebody getting up, some movie star getting on stage and saying, oh, well, after I won my 6th Oscar, you don't want to hear that. You want to hear how they were before they got their first role. You want to hear about the mistakes they made and they kept on going. You want to hear about their fears. Here's what we all do. Everybody on this planet, in my opinion, suffers from the same disease. It's called terminal comparison. And this is how it works. You sit down and in your head, you play everybody else's highlight films over and over and over again. And you're a blooper reel. Their highlight film, you're a blooper reel. Their highlight film, you're a blooper reel. Everybody's got a blooper reel. Everybody had to start somewhere. I know you're going to find this difficult to believe. Nobody ever believes this. I don't even know why I keep telling people this, even though it's true, because nobody believes it. But maybe you'll be my first group. My mother did not bounce me on her knees saying, and when you grow up, you're going to sell plastic water filters for a living, which was my first network marketing company. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was excited about it. I didn't know how it worked, but I knew the product worked, and I saw people on stage that looked happier than I was every day. And honestly, when I went to that first meeting, and I got there because I laughed, couldn't stop laughing. I mean, many of you have heard me tell the story, but when my aunt called me and told me she was getting rich and showed up with a plastic water filter, I thought she lost her mind. And I used the product because she was my aunt, and I didn't expect to like it, but I did, and I bought it. It worked, but I had to at least partly buy it because she was my aunt, and I figured, I knew she wasn't going to get rich, but I didn't want her to be able to say it was because I didn't help, so I was going to buy one. And I figured if everybody in the family bought one, that'd last about a month, then where was she going to go? But I somehow ended up at this meeting, and I just looked around the room, just hoping that I didn't see anybody I knew, because I didn't want to have to explain what I was doing there. And I sat through it, people drawing circles and all this crazy stuff I didn't understand, and it, making no sense, and felt found, and yada, 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 yada. And then when it was finally over, I thought I couldn't wait to get out of there, but then they told me to sit back down because it was time for the testimonials. And all these goofballs, this is 30 years ago, walking around across stage talking about these stories, but they were excited. And they were happy, and they were making money, but they were talking about that they traveled and they were working with people that they wanted to work with. But I went to the lobby to call my husband after it was over on the payphone, which shows you how old I am, dating myself. And he said, how bad was it? And I said, oh gosh, honey, it was so much worse than I thought it would be, except for one thing. And he said, what? I said, these people are dumber than we are, they're uglier than we are, and they're happier and making more money. And that's how I got involved. And I hated it for the first few years, and I didn't understand it. But nobody does. So what I guess when you say overcome it, let me put it this way. You will never overcome it. The biggest crock that people tell us is that we will overcome fear. You don't. Fears are always with you. It's whether you choose to move forward in spite of your fear. Courage is doing something you're afraid to do. If you're not, I'm not fearless. And here's where I learned that. I'm scared to death of heights. So I went and I took this ropes course. And it's when you climb up on totem poles and you jump for you jump and catch the trapeze thing. And I was with a group, and you do some group things, and I was climbing up the thing, and I was about halfway up, paralyzed, and all these people were, you can do it, Lisa, you can do it, and I can't move, and I'm hysterical crying, and I just was afraid, and somebody climbed up behind me to talk me through it, and I got up there and managed to stand up and turn around, and I'm standing on this thing, and I jumped for the trapeze thing, and I grabbed it, and then I couldn't hold on, and I came down. And so now I've done it. So I'm not supposed to. So I ran back, and I was halfway up the thing again, and looked down and realized, because I had conquered my fear. So I was halfway up the totem pole before I realized I was still petrified. And I'm like, what a ripoff! I'm not supposed to be afraid now, and I didn't have the nerve to go back down. And I realized the only difference once you do something is now you've done it. So the belief that it's impossible, that you cannot do it, that's gone. So now it can be done by you, but it's always going to be there.
Do you ever get tongue-tied when you get nervous when in front of people the first time?
Oh gosh, yeah, but you know what? I let the audience know. See, they're not the enemy. The audience, see, that's the thing. The audience is there. They want you to succeed. The first time I spoke, there were a lot of catchphrases when you would speak back in the day, and I managed to avoid giving an opportunity meeting for 2 years. 2 years. And somebody figured it out, and they said, tonight you're giving the meeting. And you're supposed to say something like, we've got world-class, cutting-edge products and a world-class management team. So I got up there and said we had world-class products and a cutting-edge management team, which means absolutely nothing. And I got everything so messed up that I literally told the audience, this is such a good business. This is such a good opportunity. I just don't want you to not join this great company because the person who's telling you about it is me, because it's really, really so much better than mine. I apologized for like 10 minutes. By the end, when I finally finished, they were giving me a standing ovation because I got through it. The only thing I could have done worse was fall off the stage. Mm-hmm. The only thing I didn't do was fall off the stage. But you know what? The next one was easier because I couldn't make it any worse. There was no way that I could ever be worse than I was the first time. And the thing is, if you've ever seen me speak, and I know Romy has, if you don't want the audience to laugh at you, if that's a fear, just laugh and laugh with you. So I always make fun of myself.
Yeah, I do that too.
Because if you make fun of yourself, nobody's going to make fun of you. So easy enough. But do something easy. If you're afraid to get people, the next time you go talk about one product. Or do the introduction. Welcome everybody to a meeting, blah, 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 and introduce the speakers. Just anything to get yourself in front of the room. And then just move up. Tell a story.
How did you start meeting people you didn't know? How did you start, I'm starting at my work, and everybody I know at work, and your friends, and you run out of those people. And how did you start?
I'm a firm believer that there are no strangers, just friends you haven't met yet. Mm-hmm. And my theory is, I go by the old adage that I'm very interested in other people. I really am. And, no matter where I go in the world, everybody has the same favorite topic. Guess what it is?
I don't know.
Everybody's number one favorite topic, no matter where you go. It's the topic that everybody feels is never discussed enough, no matter where they go, that could always use for some more conversation.
Their health, themselves.
Everybody that you will ever meet believes that there is not enough attention paid in any given conversation in their lives to them. So the easiest way to meet people is to focus on the most important topic the most underappreciated topic, but the most important topic to them, which is them. See, everybody feels like they need to go out and be really interesting. Nobody cares what you want to have to say about anything until they know that you care about them. So really all you have to do is go out and let them do all the talking. You just ask questions.
Okay.
You know, and I never met anything a smile wouldn't open up. I meet people in the grocery store, you smile. You just smile and chat, smile and talk. You know, ask them questions about themselves. You know, how are you? If you want an experiment that's going to really help you, go out, go talk, find somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Call them up, say, I'd love to get together, and see how long you can keep the conversation on them without letting it come back to you. You know, how are you? What have you been up to? And if they say, oh, you know, oh, that's fascinating. Tell me more about that. Oh, how long has that been going on? What about this? And if they ask you, you say, yeah, well, get back to me. I want to hear more about you. If you just give people a few chances, they'll be off to the races. Hours will go by. I keep people talking about themselves for 3 days. So in the end, I know a lot about people. So I genuinely care about people. I want to make them feel good. So you have to marry the process, divorce the result. Work with no agenda. Just be interested enough in people so that if the timing is ever right, you'll be there for his phone call. You're not there to convince anybody to do anything. You're there that when their timing is right, they'll look at what you have honestly. Because if you can get everybody to look at what you have with an open mind, then the right people will say yes. And a lot more people will say yes, they want to try your products. And then over time, they will make a decision to do whatever they're meant to do. Because you can do everything right, everything textbook right, and 8 out of 10 people are going to tell you no, that's what they're supposed to do. That's okay. But smart people know what they're saying no to.
I think you're right, because I never in my entire life thought I would sell anything in my life. It was the last thing I ever wanted to do. I had no interest in the oils. My daughter brought me to the class. I went and got a kit for her, and then I started liking them, and then I started realizing what nice people there are in this doTERRA. I mean, since I've been home with chronic pain and fibromyalgia and disability, I've been depressed, and I was online and I was asking doTERRA people, what do I do? I have this and it's hurting. I had so many nice people come on there that don't know me. They have no benefit for themselves, telling me, well, try this oil, try that oil. This worked for me, that worked for me. And it's just, I mean, there's
so they're interested in you, genuinely interested in you, and here you are.
Yeah, yeah.
So follow the formula that works, and that's the thing. Anybody I've ever met that's really successful at this, and I don't mean they've gotten and made a lot of money. I mean that over time, they've really created a successful environment to create success for others, and they all genuinely like being together. Because network marketing is about networks, and if you don't really love the people that you're working with, then it's hard to be successful because it becomes your world of people. Now, I'm not in business with all of my friends, but all of my friends are somehow connected with this business in some form or fashion, and it's really cool. Because I spend my time around world-class people. We don't have to be in the same business to be friends and to support each other and to share with each other and to use each other's products. Romy and Mark and I have been friends for, well, how long have we been friends now?
It's got to be
5 years.
Yeah, four years.
I mean, it's been like years. It was around this time of year because I know it started around one of Eric's events somewhere. Gazillion. I know I know they were small then. We got to be friendly.
It was the one at Green Valley.
Yeah, it was the first one that we went to.
Okay, so that would be like 4 or 5 years ago. And we've been, friends ever since. And it's just, and we connect. We both want to, and we want to change the world. And you change it by helping people. And that's the thing you have to remember. If you genuinely care about people, then you genuinely respect people, they're going to care and respect you. And we all want to help each other. And that doesn't mean we have to be in each other's business. So I think that don't focus on what you're afraid of because, and I say this now that I've given you all the warm, fuzzy stuff, and I'm going to give you the harsh truth. It's not about you.
Right.
It's about them. And if you always remember that when you're on stage, when you're talking to somebody about their problem, we're in the solution business. Yeah. So you're there for other people. You're not there to benefit yourself. So you don't have to worry about you or how you feel because they don't care. You're there for them.
Right, right. And I'm still learning, I'm still
What I'm
fairly
saying is,
new.
so they're not focused on you. They're only focused on what's in it for them. So if you make a mistake, they don't know and they don't care as long as it's good for them.
Yeah.
It's a good
yeah.
experience for them. If you make them feel good, that's all they'll care about. And
That's
that's
a
where I'll
answer.
start.
That makes it a lot easier, instead of worrying about it. And my husband told me, I can't stand in front of people. My legs hurt too bad,
They'll sit.
And he said,
No.
well, you don't have to stand. He goes, sit. And he goes, just sit and talk and have some coffee and just talk.
I was at the women's event last year, April, May, whenever it was. And I was not feeling well. And I was on stage and I was speaking and I got dizzy and I asked him to bring me out a chair. I ended up, having everybody, I got exceptionally high ratings for what I thought wasn't a very good talk. So there you go. And maybe it was, but I didn't feel well, so I didn't feel like it was. And I got really, really, really great, comment cards. So then you get the sympathy factor. So that no matter what you do, it always works out. Does anybody else have a question? Anything I can help with? Romy, I see that you have 2 computers going, and one of the people that's got your name on is not you.
That is actually Kenzie.
Hi. I like to meet everybody and put names with faces. Jeff, you have a fantastic smile. Hi, Alicia. Somebody's chatting. Hi, Mary Lynn.
Yeah.
So anything I can help anybody with? Are we all getting excited? What's everybody cooking this week? Please tell me everybody's going to, that on Thanksgiving, you're just supposed to forget all the stuff and just live and eat all the good things you grew up with, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I had somebody tell me, I had a friend of mine tell me today this menu she was making to be healthy. And I'm like, nobody should be that healthy on Thanksgiving. It's just
Or Christmas.
Or Christmas. Or Easter. What's the point of
Or
being
your birthday.
I said, it's like you wouldn't appreciate the sunshine if there was no rain. How do you appreciate being healthy every day if you don't eat good occasionally?
Yeah, well, I'm not skinny, and so I'm not like the best role model for health, but I know that they have helped me with pain and with a lot of things, so I can kind of tell people what they've done for me and why I love them and why I've gotten to want to share them. But yeah, I see some of these people are diamonds and they're like beautiful. And
I think that anybody who spends their life wanting to help other people is beautiful. Beauty, beauty the way that most people view it, it's just ridiculous because that is a temporary, no matter what you do, that's temporary. The beauty I look for sort of gets better as people have more experience behind it. Any other questions, Romy? Anything I can help with?
Sometimes being pain-free is beautiful. That's my opinion. I think.
yeah, that's what I'm working on.
I think being pain-free is beautiful. I think helping people to be pain-free is magnificent.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think lifelines are beautiful. I think that having been around the block a few times is beautiful.
You know who called me? Do you know that lady? Her name is Joy something. She's an older lady. I think she got to be, I don't know if she went silver and got across the stage. She had to be in a wheelchair. She's in her 80s, I think, and she's doing doTERRA. Anyway, when I was on there, she gave me a call just because she don't know me. She gave me her number because I was depressed and I was venting about, because I was having a lot of pain that day and just depressed. And she goes, I want to try to help you. Call me. And I called her and we sat and talked for an hour. And I said, I don't know. I just don't know any other business where there's ladies like that, and I hope to be a better person like you guys.
That's the beauty of the thing. I mean, you can change somebody's life in a minute.
Yeah. It was good for both of us, just, I don't know. It's just a very helpful business.
Alicia, where do you hail from? Where do you live?
I live in Ogden, Utah currently, but I'm hail from.
Oh, I've been there. It's pretty. Is it snowing yet?
No, but I heard in the news it's supposed to. But we're actually going to Montana for a low-fat Thanksgiving because my sister-in-law is a fitness guru, and we're going to be having alternative recipes. However,
Oh gosh,
I will be bringing
Tell me
my
if it tastes good.
I know. Well, I'm hoping she uses a lot of stuff that most of my kids won't touch, but we're not bringing the older kids, so the little kids, they don't know. You just mash it up and they'll eat it. And so we are having a turkey, no meatless Thanksgiving, and they're planning
Thank goodness.
elk. So.
I mean, I'm just too much of a traditionalist, but I did have a friend
Me too.
tofurkey.
Tofurkey.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry. To each his own, and if it makes everything makes you happy, but I would rather eat pizza.
So there's a few things I'm not going up there without. So we'll be bringing up my stuff for my own pumpkin pie. I want a couple of things of my own. So we'll be bringing that
Oh,
up.
that's great. But Montana has snow, so you'll have beautiful postcards, and you'll have pumpkin pie and turkey at least.
I'm only taking pictures of that. The rest is I'll just eat and smile.
Kimberly, where are you?
Sorry, unmuting. I'm from Layton, Utah.
Oh gosh, you guys are all up in the mountains. I'm jealous.
There's no snow yet, but maybe a storm tomorrow.
But it's still the mountains. I mean, have you ever been to Dallas, Texas?
No.
You have to really have love in your eyes when you look out the window to really see what I just see something there, because it's Dallas, Texas. I'm from Michigan, so Michigan is beautiful. Not the mountains, but still beautiful. And this is Dallas, Texas. But it's family and it's home.
That's
And
good.
you guys are still in Utah? Romy, or are you on the road yet?
We actually are in, we're in Earp, California, but we're on the border of California and Arizona. So we're on the Colorado River.
Oh,
And it's beautiful, it's hot.
the river's always,
Well,
I have to tell you, not that Earp doesn't sound fascinating, but on the Colorado River is how I would put it in my diary. So I spent Thanksgiving on the Colorado River. Sounds a little bit more poetic than I spend it in Earp. Unless you're from Earp. Oh, I'm going to sing for Wyatt Earp, huh?
We're actually about 25 miles south of Lake Havasu.
Oh, beautiful. Are you loving the new
Yeah.
thing? The
Oh,
new one?
yes.
Have you
Yep.
is it road tested? Are you a road warrior now?
Oh, yes. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. So I wanted to say just quickly about when Lisa's talking about continuing to ask questions, we have a really unstable internet connection right now. Can you guys hear me?
Perfectly well. You don't look unstable at all. You look quite handsome and beautiful, actually. You sound even better.
So she not only is speaking the words, but she lives the words. So as far as asking questions and continuing to ask the questions. So when we were in Utah just this in September, we actually got a chance to have dinner with Lisa. And
awesome.
whenever I talk to Lisa on the phone, it is like seriously always about me. And I try to turn the conversation, and it still ends up about me. So when Mark and I were getting ready to go pick up Lisa for dinner, I'm like, we need to make sure that we ask questions so we can get Lisa to talk, because it's always about me, and I don't want to talk about me like that anymore. And it was dang hard. It just kept coming back around, and it still ended up to be, it was a little bit better, but she really does do that. And so
I had such a good time. That place though, those desserts. Oh God, I think food really is big. I mean, it's the fact that I don't weigh 400 pounds is a testament to my willpower at certain times. Somebody told me once that most people spend their time looking for the answers, but the people that really have the most fulfilled lives are always looking for the questions.
yeah.
If you want better results, better answers, better relationships, better everything, just ask better questions. Because what our minds are geared to do is to find answers to the questions we ask. So if your mind is saying why, disempowering questions like why do bad things always happen to me? That's what your mind's going to try to figure out all day. Why do bad things always happen to me? If your mind is asking, how I, what is the best thing? What is the best thing that I can learn from this situation? What can I learn from this situation? What can I learn from this situation that I can use tomorrow to do better? Then your mind's going to look forward. What can I learn from this situation so that I can do better tomorrow? If you're always trying to fine tune the questions, and the other thing you want to do is you want to ask the next question. You see, so often we overwhelm ourselves with questions because we're like, well, like, but the key to success lies in the specificity. And so often people get lost in the jungle of vague. I want to be successful. Okay, well, what does that mean? I want to make a lot of money. Well, how much? Doing what? In what time frame? But don't ask them all at once. But once you ask a question, ask the next one. Now I want to have a dinner party. Okay, when? Pick a date. How many people? Well, do I want to have a buffet or sit down? What type of who's going to come? And before you know it, you can actually see it before you even started because you've asked enough questions. Now all of a sudden you have a menu, you have a guest list, you have a date. The whole thing has been planned just by you asking the next question. Once you have a plan and you can see it in your head, it's very easy to fill in the blanks and make it come true. And so often people go out and they just go attacking things. They really don't know where they're going. And that's just a failure to ask the next question and the next question and the next question. And sometimes if you do that, you'll find out when you dig deep enough, oh gosh, I don't like the way that's shaping up. So you'll back up and go a different direction with your questions, and you can play devil's advocate to your own idea and get the idea down to where it really looks like something you want to create. And then you can commit to the vision that you're creating, and the vision and that picture will see you through. On the days when it's tough to get through the day, you keep your eye on the horizon. But if you don't see what's over the horizon, that's difficult to move forward. So I am a question crazy person. I drove my parents insane with all my questions, but like I said, the right question will inevitably lead you to the right answer. So rather than looking for answers, sometimes it's best just to keep looking for the question.
And for when we're, to me, when we had a conversation about this a few months ago. And so what was happening is that I was feeling frustrated, and I was starting to feel like a failure because I wasn't able to give the right answers to some people that were struggling. And so I was taking it personal. And so when we had that conversation and you turned it and you started talking about asking questions instead of giving the answers, that lifted a weight off of my shoulders that was like none other. So I think it's really important. I remember that is something that stays
in my apartment in Hong Kong.
Uh-huh.
I remember that conversation.
So that's
so easy to do.
Yeah.
So easy to, we want to help people so badly. We forget that all we can do is help people help themselves when they're ready for the help. Because so often we just want to shake them into their own, we want to shake them into their potential, shake them into their destiny, shake them into what they're capable of, which nobody can do that for me and we can't do that for anybody else, but we feel like we should. But yeah, I remember.
Yep.
But my darling, you are never a failure. You have had such incredible, incredible success. There'll always be somebody who makes it look easier, who did it faster, who we think does it better, but they're only there to remind us that we're never done. That there's always something left to do and always something left to strive for.
That is true. We are never done.
We are never done.
But it's exciting too, because there's always.
When we're done, they have a party. They give you a really good party that you're not there for, and get a couple of good speakers to talk about you. And once a year, they fill out picture books and remind people you were here once. Nothing to look forward to.
Yep.
But if you do this right, then this is your immortality. And that's the thing to always remember. At the end of the day, It's not about how much money you made. It's about the lives you touched, and it's about who you spent your time with along the way. That's all that really matters.
Yes.
And youth is wasted on the young, because if I knew 30 years ago what I knew today, boy, would I have been better off.
That is so true.
Isn't it unfair?
True.
I mean, really, the youth is wasted on the young. I am approaching older-ish. Well, so
Lisa,
I was gonna say,
I just want to.
go ahead.
Lisa is a classic example about building relationships on purpose and about having picking people in your life that are good on purpose and building that relationship. When I watched Lisa speak at GoPro, I loved her immediately, and I knew that she was somebody that I wanted to know and wanted to have in my life. And so I just want to encourage you guys to really build relationships on purpose. Don't just let them come into your life. Pick people that you will be able to help, and they will be good for you as well. And do it on purpose, because I'm so grateful for this relationship. If I need something, no matter, Lisa is in Hong Kong most of the time, and if I really need something, all I have to do is send her a message. She has never ever turned me down, ever. She's always been there for me.
Well, Visa, thank you. You make me smile. You all make me smile, but she makes me smile in particular. And Mark, you make her smile, so you make me smile too.
So it's the week of Thanksgiving. I'm very grateful for you. You are a major blessing to me personally, and you've been a major blessing to our team. And I just want to make it a point to.
That's amazing. I thank you very much. And I really appreciate every day how blessed we really all are. You know, it has been a crazy year and certainly a crazy time, but we are incredibly blessed. And I love what we do.
Yes.
I love what we do. Yes. And always remember and never forget, and this is the thing, is marry the process and divorce the result. That's the most important lesson you can learn. Because you can't control other people, you can only control what you do. And if you do the right things every day, it will come back to you tenfold. And that's what I've learned. So I never get caught up in whether who says yes and who says no. But Romy is right. Focus on developing the world-class ability within yourself, whatever that is, because everybody's world-class at something, and putting world-class people in your life. Because this is something that I learned that really, I'll give you one secret that changed my business. Radically changed my business. No, all no's are created equal. A no is a no. I didn't understand this. A no is a no is a no. A drunk on a park bench tells you no. A bank president tells you no. No's. There is a significant difference between those yeses. If the drunk on the park bench tells you yes and the bank president tells you yes. So it doesn't matter. People are not numbers, but it is a numbers game. It doesn't matter who tells you no. It significantly matters who tells you yes. And if you are out talking to all the right people, meaning people that you would want to be in business, even if you're sure they're all going to say no, they all won't say no. But if But if you're talking to all the right people, knowing they're going to say no, the ones that do say yes will radically change your life.
That's true. That's really good.
I never understood that. That all the no is a no is a no, but there's a, we were always so geared toward finding yeses. And I sat down with somebody, he said, go find no's. Just find the right no's. So who cares if they all say no? But if you're fishing in the right pond, and it has nothing to do with, it has everything to do with how people think. It has nothing to do with if they're rich or poor or went to school or didn't go to school. But do they see a bigger picture? Do they see a world of possibility? Are they people that, if they said yes, will go out and want to change people's lives and change the world and be excited about it and attract other people to them because they're exciting to be around? Are they busy people? And that really changed everything for me. Because I started looking for no's instead of yeses, figuring that eventually somebody was going to say yes, but I didn't care who it was because any one of the 1,000 people that told me no would have been a great yes. And that's when everything started to really change for me. I can't believe I haven't thought about that. It's funny, I haven't thought about that in years. Something you said sparked me. Because things become second. You find it, you do it for so long, it becomes second nature.
Uh-huh.
Because people always say, what do you do when you get a really negative person? And I don't talk to those people anymore. I like to talk to anybody, but not really negative people. Thank you, Carol. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to do our giveaway, Kenzie.
What are you giving away?
We're
Tonight,
giving away a free oil.
it's a Serenity
A free
Essential Oil tonight. And the winner tonight is Elisa Grossman.
All right. I need Serenity. Thank you.
So I'll get your address from Romy, Lisa, and get that in the mail.
Oh, that's not fair. I shouldn't get to win. But
Oh,
It
no.
was random. It was random. We have a random generator.
Yep.
I really won randomly? Well, I never, yay!
We every week we give away an oil just to the people who participated in our sizzle.
Well, you guys are awesome. Thank
Kenzie,
you so much for having me.
Well, we love you, and we're grateful for you.
Well, I'm grateful for you. I'm sorry if I said I'm sorry if I'm a little bit tired tonight with all the flying and everything else. It might be a little bit not as energetic as usual.
No, this was awesome.
It was great.
Perfect.
It was great.
It's perfect. Everything that you say whenever you're with us is always right on time.
I'm gonna,
Always.
So I will see you next week, yes? Is it next week?
Yes.
Oh, yes, it's next
Yep.
week. So far.
Yep.
Well,
It was really
I'll see
nice
a bunch
meeting
of
you.
there. It's going to be awesome. Big.
Yep.
We'll have to find meeting places.
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah. So we get in. We get there on Monday.
I'm not sure exactly what day we're getting in. I know we might